Hi, this is TigerLily. I hope everyone is having a great day. It's a great day for me because I just got my first ebook published, and it's available now on Amazon.com. Those of you who know me on YouTube probably know me as a motorcyclist who dislikes police abuse and stupid laws. But before my activism days, I was a registered nurse. For 9 years, I worked in some of the busiest hospitals in the nation, performing nursing specialties ranging from birth to death. In the last several months, I've been watching some really classic things reported about hospitals. You have the case of Jahai McMath. She was an overweight 13-year-old little girl that bled to death after a routine tonsillectomy to resolve her sleep apnea. The family insisted on putting her on life support, but the hospital bureaucrats insisted taking her off. Lamestream media refused to ask the real questions like, did any healthcare provider work with the family to put this child on a diet to resolve the sleep apnea? Or what other non-invasive options was this child given instead of immediately going to the knife? And didn't anyone test this little girl's blood to know that she was at risk for bleeding? It's a really simple laboratory test. And where was the nurse? Wasn't she supposed to be at her side when she began to bleed after the surgery? How is it possible that a nurse was not ready to save this child, since California is the only state that criminalizes hospitals for overworking their nurses? Take also the case of Lynn Spalding. She went into the San Francisco General Hospital for antibiotic treatment and went missing. She was found 2 weeks later dead, right in the hospital stairwell. She was found by an engineer that was doing quarterly checks. Imagine how much longer she would have been missing had the checks been annually. Everybody pointing fingers at everybody else. The mayor blamed the hospital blamed the sheriff's department. The media reported all angles of what the talking heads were spewing, but no one was asking the real questions, like, how is it possible that a dead body could be in a hospital stairwell for weeks? Don't the janitors clean the stairwells? Here's an idea. How about having one of the thousands of San Francisco homeless go up and down each stairwell to pick up the dead mice and roaches in exchange for a meal and a bath? Oh, and by the way, they should report finding any dead people. That could never happen. Why? Because California hospitals are regulated to death. I'm sure there are several laws that would prevent such a common sense thing from happening. The family spokesperson for Lynn Spalding was advocating to have another law to institute surveillance cameras in hospitals. He wanted to call it Lynn's Law. Now, while I certainly empathize with this family's grief, I think it's ridiculous to ask lawmakers to make another law. If laws created safety, then California, having so many laws, would have the safest hospitals in the nation. But take it from me, they don't. And let's not forget the one about the man who was brought into a New Mexico hospital by cops so that the doctors could rape him. Yep, thanks to the war on drugs, a couple of police officers found a doctor to check a man's anus to see if he was hiding drugs. A doctor performed a couple of digital exams, and then he got 3 enemas by a nurse who was just doing as ordered. And finally, he was forced to have a colonoscopy. All of this against his will. And no drugs were found.
Now, you might expect administrators here at Gila Regional Medical Center to defend their doctors, maybe even defend patient care here. Turns out they're not. Instead, they're issuing me a no comment, saying that this is a pending litigation matter and they're not going to comment on it.
And P.S., just to add insult to injury,
Quick violation, and you may think it ended with 8 anal medical procedures, but there's one more thing. The Gila Regional Medical Center billed Eckert for those procedures and is even threatening to take him to collections if he doesn't pay.
And we can thank the clusterfuck of hospital incompetence, greed, or both as it relates to the recent Texas Ebola outbreak. The hospital workers had plenty of opportunities to contain Ebola, but not surprisingly to me, they sure as hell didn't. None of the stories above surprised me at all, which is why I felt compelled to write this book. It's the inside scoop about hospital bureaucracy and politics that is responsible for hospital errors being the 3rd leading cause of death in the U.S. Yep, I crunched the numbers, and you're 40 times more likely to be killed by a deadly doctor than you are by a drunk driver. Where are the mothers against deadly doctors? Every single one of those tragedies was 100% preventable if the public knew better how hospitals work. My book teaches that. I've priced the book at 99 cents. That's as low as Amazon.com will let me price it. Do an Amazon search on hospital hazards to check out my book. If you'd like me to gift the book to you, send me an email and I'll gladly do my best to buy one for you. Please don't wait until you or a loved one ends up needing to be hospitalized. Read my ebook soon and have it handy on a device so you can refer to it when you need it. Thanks for listening. Please leave your comments below and check out my ebook's website, hospitalhazards.blogspot.com. Until next time, be healthy, everyone. This is TigerLily.